They say dogs don't hold grudges. And maybe they don't, not like we do. But what they do hold is emotion. Quiet, unspoken, deep emotion. I remember the first time I saw it. Not the tail wagging joy. Not the excited bark. But that look. The one that says, "You hurt me, and I don't know why." It was over something small. I raised my voice. Not even at him, just in frustration. And he flinched. Then looked away. And the worst part? He went to his bed and stayed there. Not because I told him to. But because I made him feel small. That night, I started digging. Not into dog training. Not into commands or tricks. But into feelings. Dog feelings. Because no one tells you that the real pain you cause your dog doesn't come from forgetting their birthday or not buying them the fancy treats. It comes from the little things. The everyday things. The things we do without thinking. So here they are. 10 of them. 10 small things that, if you're not careful, can slowly chip away at your dog's trust, confidence, and joy. 1. Yelling, even when it's not at them. You think they don't understand words. But your dog hears tone. He hears your stress, your tension, your anger. Yelling at your phone. Yelling at the news. Yelling across the room. And in that moment, he doesn't know what you're yelling at. All he knows is, your voice just became a weapon. It doesn't matter if you weren't talking to him. To your dog, loud means danger. Loud means rejection. Loud means, I'm not safe right now. Over time, dogs who live in high-conflict homes become jumpy. Withdrawn. Or worse, numb. So the next time you're about to shout, remember, your dog is listening. And he doesn't know you're mad at traffic. He just knows you're mad. 2. Ignoring their greeting at the door. It's been 8 hours. He's been waiting. Watching the door. Listening to sounds in the hallway. Holding his bladder and his tail in check. And then you walk in. Phone in hand. Bag over your shoulder. And you say, "Not now, buddy." To you, it's nothing. You're tired. You need a minute. To him? It's rejection. Pure and direct. Because greeting you is sacred. It's his favorite part of the day. The highlight. And when you brush past him, it's not just a missed moment. It's a message. You don't matter right now. You don't have to throw a party every time you walk in. But a gentle pat. A warm, "Hey, bud." That's all it takes to say, "I missed you too." 3. Rushing walks just to check a box. Yes, life gets busy. Yes, sometimes a 5-minute sidewalk sprint is all you've got. But for your dog, that walk is more than just a bathroom break. It's stimulation. It's exploration. It's their version of reading the news. And when you tug the leash, rush past the same block, and don't even let them sniff that one bush they always stop at, you're saying, "This isn't for you. This is for me." And dogs know that. They feel that. It's not about time. It's about presence. You can give your dog a fulfilling walk in 10 minutes, but only if your mind is there with him. Not in your email. Not in your TikTok feed. Not in your grocery list. Give him the dignity of a walk that's about him. Not just his bladder. 4. Not letting them finish their sniff. This one seems small. Trivial. But sniffing isn't just a hobby for dogs. It's a biological need. They don't just see the world, they smell it. And when you yank the leash just as they're mid-sniff, you're interrupting a conversation. Imagine someone pulling your book away while you're halfway through a sentence. Or shutting off a podcast mid-sentence. That's what it feels like. It's not just annoying. It's confusing. Disorienting. Let them sniff. Give them those few seconds. Even if you don't get it, respect it. 5. Leaving them without warning. You grab your keys. You put on your shoes. They know what it means. You're leaving. But sometimes, you don't even say. Goodbye. You just walk out. And your dog sits there, staring at a closed door, wondering if they did something wrong. Dogs thrive on ritual. Consistency. Closure. You don't need a speech. Just a, be right back. Or a, stay, good boy. Let him know it's not his fault. Let him know you're coming back. Because abandonment doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's just silence where there should have been kindness. If any of this hits you, even just a little, if you're nodding, or feeling that twist in your stomach, that's a good thing. It means you care. It means you want to do better. And that's what makes you the kind of person your dog already thinks you are. So if you I've made any of these mistakes, like I have, you're not a bad dog owner. You're just learning. Stick around. We've got 5 more coming up. Some of them are harder to admit. But that's okay. Because loving a dog isn't about being perfect. It's about getting better, one tail wag at a time. 6. Pushing them away when they seek comfort. Your dog doesn't speak English. He doesn't know how to say, I am scared, or I am overwhelmed. So he nudges you. Lays his head on your knee. Sits a little too close. And sometimes, because we're human, we push them away. Not now. Give me space. Yeah! Go lie down. But to them, that moment was everything. They weren't being clingy. They were asking for connection. And when you deny it, you don't just confuse them. You teach them, don't come to me when you're scared. Dogs remember that. And little by little, they start retreating on their own. Until one day, they don't come for comfort at all. Not because they're better. But because they've learned they're on their own. 7. Laughing when they're scared. We've all seen it. Dog slips on the floor, we laugh. Dog jumps at the vacuum, we chuckle. Dog hides from thunder, we take a video. And sure, it looks funny. But to them, that moment was fear. Real, visceral fear. And the person they trusted, laughed. Imagine tripping in public and the only friend you have points and giggles. That's what it feels like. Dogs might not understand humor, but they understand your response. They read your face, your voice, your energy. If your dog is afraid, show compassion. Not mockery. Because every time you laugh at their fear, you teach them to feel alone in it. 8. Inconsistency in rules or reactions. One day, they're allowed on the couch. The next day, you yell. One night they get a treat for barking at the door. The next, you punish them for the same thing. You say off, but you laugh when they jump. You say stay, but walk away before they finish. This isn't just confusing. It's emotionally exhausting. Dogs thrive on structure. Predictability is safety. When the rules change with your mood, they don't learn discipline. They learn anxiety. They start hesitating. Second guessing. Losing confidence. They stop trusting that the world has any logic. And that breaks their spirit in quiet, invisible ways. 9. Forgetting to acknowledge their effort. Your dog tries. He really does. He sits a little longer. Waits a little more patiently. Holds that stay when you walk farther away than usual. And when you don't notice, when you don't say good boy, or give that approving smile, he still wags his tail. But make no mistake, he was hoping for your joy. Dogs crave praise. Not out of ego. But because your happiness is their reward. And when you forget to celebrate the small wins, they start questioning if trying even matters. Think about it, how would you feel if every time you did something right, the world stayed silent? 10. Not making time for connection. This is the hardest one to admit. Because it doesn't look like a mistake. You feed them. You walk them. You keep them clean and healthy. But when was the last time you sat on the floor and just existed with them? No phone. No distractions. Just presence. Dogs don't measure love in events. They measure it in moments. A soft eye contact. A belly rub when they weren't asking for one. A spontaneous smile just for them. When those moments vanish, dogs don't lash out. They shrink. They become quieter. Less expressive. Still loyal, because that's who they are. But inside, they miss you. The real you. The one who used to be with them, not just around them. If you've reached this point, and you're still here, still listening, then I already know something about you. You're the kind of person who wants to do better. Not because someone told you to. But because you looked at your dog one day and thought, you deserve the best version of me. And that's what this is about. Not guilt. Not shame. Not perfection. Just awareness. And a promise to pay more attention to the feelings that can't be said out loud.